What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you're at in the world, I guess. Some of you guys live in the future. I understand that. All right, we got 22 people watching. YouTube is complaining about my audio or video. Are we having issues here? Is my stream too powerful for YouTube? It looks like we had some dropped frames. Let me pause this for a sec and drop my bitrate down, because apparently YouTube can't handle all the bitrate. Oh, wait, I think I can change it on the fly here. 4,000. Let's see. Will it change? Oh, let's see. Drop down to 4,000. Our audio is at, let's see here. Are we doing good? We looking good? I mean, I can only look so good. There's only so much HD can do. And it probably makes it worse, to be honest. I should probably use like a 320p video. That way people cannot see how terrible I look. Speaking of things that look potentially terrible, we have a CR-6 SE here. And this is what we're going to be going over today. Purchased this with our own money. This was not a review unit. So yeah. No special strings attached to this as always. I actually prefer to purchase the printers. It really doesn't change. I'm just as honest with ones we get for free. But the reason we don't get stuff from GearBest anymore is because they weren't happy with the videos we were putting out. Because it's almost like they sent us garbage and I'm not going to sell you garbage. So there's that. How's everybody doing today? I got my chat up here. Let's see here. All right. So let's jump into it. I think tomorrow or Monday, basically we're going to be doing some regular hangout streams again, kind of getting back into the swing of things, having different people on. Not like a show like some other people do. Like there's some other channels like the Edge Attack. They do, they'll bring on guests, but ours is going to be more kind of casual where we're just hanging out and, shooting the shit kind of thing. There might be some swearing too. It's just how we roll on here. This channel's intended for adults. So this is not a Kickstarter unit. I don't believe in Kickstarters. Kickstarters are usually a ripoff 9 times out of 10. And it seems like based on what I've seen, I got some schmutz on my monitor here. Based on what I've seen from even this Creality one, they literally did a Kickstarter. I'm just going to call them out right now. They did a Kickstarter just for the marketing. That's it. There was no reason Creality of all companies needed to do a Kickstarter. And there's, from what I've heard, there's people that, so this is a retail unit I bought through Amazon. So this came from Amazon. So that means Creality or one of the resellers sent this printer to Amazon. Amazon then shipped it to me. But what really bothers me is that there's people that bought the printer on Kickstarter that still haven't got it yet, but they're shipping retail units. That's wrong. If you do a Kickstarter, you should ship all of the stuff out that you sold to people on Kickstarter before you send out fucking retail units. That's just, that just seems like common sense. But I don't do Kickstarters at all. The last printer I did a Kickstarter thing for was almost 2 years ago, if not more. I don't remember the exact date, but it was that M3D Crane Quad. And that was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I will never do any sort of crowd-funded printers, period. Not happen. Especially in the 3D printing market. It's become like a scam. There's so many different Kickstarters that were launched and hyped up, and then the companies just mismanaged everything and fell flat. How we do things around here is we'd rather start out with something small, and if we can make 100 units, we make 100 units. We make 1,000 units, we make 1,000 units. I'd rather just start out with things small that we know we can manage instead of trying to get on this hype train and scale up all at the same time. As a business, that's really hard to do. Some businesses can pull it off, but it adds more complexity and steps to actually getting a product off the ground versus just saying, hey, I know we have the bandwidth and the funds to make, 50 units or 10 units. Just do that and then reinvest. That's how we do things around here. That's why I don't do back orders. We don't do pre-orders. I don't like using our customers' money to fund our projects. That's really what it comes down to. So, I like, we bought some Diet Pepsi for the shop and no one drank it. I don't mind it, but it doesn't have enough caffeine for me, man. So, let's get into this. Let me switch over to the arm cam here, and this is sealed in box. So let me reposition the camera, and we got the stream dog in the house. Clara, are you being a good girl? Of course you are. You're being a good dog. She's always a good dog. We went for a walk today. Hi, doggy. What? Yes, I said your name. All right. Let's use my fancy karambit. And let's get into this. Let me reposition my mic here. Oh god, I'm hitting the camera. All right. All right, let's see here. Brand new. All right. Okay. It is recommended to use the Creality slicing software to avoid machine abnormality caused by different slicing instruction of different slicing software. Okay, so they have example start G codes in here. Who's using G28X0, Y0, Z0? Everyone I know uses G28. That's weird. This looks like, I don't know, this looks like, this starting code looks very familiar right here. Let's see. We got the qualified certificate and the user manual. We got a full spool of PLA. That's nice to see. I mean, for what this thing costs, I would expect that, to be honest. Aside from like seeing some of the Kickstarter videos and stuff, I really haven't looked into this machine too much. This is their touchscreen module here, and there's some. We're going to be opening all this up, but this is interesting. Feels pretty well built. We got a US power cord. That's good, because this is sold in the US. A bag of bolts and T-nuts. Got the handle and the spool holder, all injection molded, no 3D printed stuff here. I like this. When you get to a certain volume, you know, especially when you're doing like a printer, it's nice to see injection molded parts. Especially when you're Creality size, like they're a decent sized company at this point. All right. So that's everything in there. Come on. There we go. The Bowden tube was hanging up. It's packed really well. All right. I mean, it's got some heft to it. That's good. It usually means that it's built pretty well. They got a lot of metal on here. It's not a bad thing. All right. Let's get the camera moved around here. And let's get this sucker built. And we are going to look at the installation directions here. Now, those of you guys know, or may not know, these machines have an issue with, I don't want to call it catching on fire, but a fire risk would be an adequate and fair statement to make. I was about to say I'm missing the thing, but it looks like this actually, like, oh, this is nice, actually. This locks into here like that. I like that. Okay. I'm assuming it looks like it can go in either way. Yeah. So, can either go here or here. So, that's nice. Hi, Clara. Of course, you're going to be needy. All right, so they've got a little sticker here because, and I've dealt with this with our boards. People jam the SD cards in the wrong way, and then you break all the pins in the slot. So they have a thing here, this side up. This is a nice touch, okay? This is a nice touch. All right, let's do this. Let's start. There's really not much to this. There's the upright. Dog, you are not helping. You are just getting in the way. there's the upright and then the base and some cables. So assembly-wise, this looks pretty, what's it called? It looks pretty well built, but, oh, I got on a tangent, as usual. But people were having these, like, smoke, and I don't know if there's been any fires reported, but as far as I know, it's been an issue with this switch. And, like, it feels okay. I don't know if this one's going to have the problem, but we're going to take a look at it and see what it looks like. They just throw this in every single machine. It has no actual QC thing. Their after sales thing, which, yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's just, let's see, what's the warranty? 1 year. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff to get out of the warranty there. But it's just legalese. All right, let's see, the assembly. All right, looks like we got everything, according to the list here. Did they include tools? Did I miss that in the package? Because I feel like maybe it's in the packaging and I missed it. No. Are they in here? Huh. So I'm actually missing all the tools that are supposed to come with it and the SD card. Am I missing them or am I being stupid? They've got to be in here. Oh! Ah! I forgot. It has a drawer. They should... Do they say that? Do they show you that that's where the tools are? It says 24 toolbox, but I missed that. I wonder how many people did the same thing I just did. This can't be really asked. No, I legitimately did not know. Okay, they're in here. Oh, look at a little, I can achieve dream. 3D printing industry evangelist, Creality. Ooh. And then we got tools. This is a nice little set. Just put a note. Hey, dumbass, the tools are in here. Nice little wrench here. Look at that. I have my chat up, okay? I see chat. I was just a little preoccupied. Oh, look at these tiny little snips. These little snips. They're so cute. They're so tiny, and they got a little lock thing on here. Oh, they're so cute. Joel did it. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. Look at a little nozzle wrench here. And what else do we got? Oh, there's a little magnet. There's magnets in here to like... Oh yeah, so it doesn't come out. Some nice little touches on this machine. Which, for the price, which is like, I think $430, I would expect. Like, this is nice. I like this. All right. I'm going to use their included tools. All right. I don't know if I'm going to keep... I'm just going to get rid of this. This seems kind of redundant. You know what? This looks pretty, but I'd rather just have this. There we go. They put foam in here, but it's more of a pain. Screw the foam. Figuratively. You guys know what I mean. Directions unclear. All right. What are we going to do? I'm assuming we're just bolting the top on. Okay, it says raise the Z. Raise the Z, bolt the top on. Putting the 4 long bolts in the bottom, bolting it on. I mean, it's pretty, if you built a machine, it's pretty self-explanatory. Looks like the spool is going to go on the left-hand side because this is the rear of the printer here. So let's get into it. And of course, this you guys can't see it, but the dog, there we go. There it is. There it is. Yep. Every time. Every time. Okay, let's just get this out of the way so we can build the printer. Hi, dog. Yes, you're pretty. Chat loves you. But I can't build a printer with you in my lap. Yes, you're a good girl. Okay, let's... Oh my god, dog. Dog. Hi. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, see, before, I used to be able to, like, set this on the enders, like, but it's so top heavy, it just wants to tip over. So, I picked this up on Amazon. My buddy Rob sent me a message, and we paid $2.99 for this. So, but I know that's not the normal price. I don't know if it was a pricing error or if it was just like a sale, but I actually had one on order from Creality directly for over a month, and they never shipped it. And I grabbed this, and then I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, I have 2 of them, and they still hadn't shipped it. So I emailed them. I was like, you know, you guys haven't shipped it in a month, and when we ordered it, they told me it was in stock. So I was like, I messaged him. I was like, listen, like, it's been over a month. Just cancel and refund my order because I already bought it from somewhere else and it's already here. So just cancel it. But this came from Lux & Watch, which is one of their resellers. So this is a genuine Creality unit. I like my Bondhuss T-handles. T-handles are the best. Once you go to T-handles, you can't go back. And they did like route this out in here, so it's easy to line this up. You can actually get good alignment on here and make it square. Like just that little extra bit, like they could have done it without it, but just having that there makes it a lot easier for people to build because you're not fiddling with these turning like on the under 3s. Yeah, $2.99 is what I got this for. But like I said, it was like a limited thing, and I paid Creality $4.60 and they hadn't shipped it, so I was like, why am I gonna wait? So I ordered this one. I was like, well, worst case scenario, I ended up with 2, and then it came here and they still hadn't shipped our other one. I was like, just cancel the damn order. Like, you guys told me it was in stock when I ordered it, and that was a month ago. Like, don't jerk me around. So no, they supposedly said they're canceling it. If not, I'll just go through PayPal because I have emails from them. I was dealing directly with a salesperson where they said that they were going to ship it, and they still haven't shipped it. So I hate to be go all Karen on them on PayPal with a dispute, but I'm not above that, especially considering it's been a month and they still haven't shipped the damn machine. So Tom says a quarter wood is less, and you can control it when it starts on fire. Well, let's see. I don't have any actual experience with this machine yet, so I have seen other people have issues where there was smoke. I have not seen any flame. As much as I want to joke around with it being a fire starter, I haven't seen it, so I can't be like, oh yeah, they catch on fire. So, but I know people have been having problems with them. And while Creality won't say what the issue is, I can say that I've seen enough to be like, it looks like it's a problem with the switch. And if you're not careful like me, you can actually, I could probably pull it out without loosening this up, but I don't want to damage the cable. The motor is like on this, there we go. It was like on this ribbon cable here. But we're good. Oh, there's actually space between the motors, so we should be fine. Between the motor and the frame here. All right. Oh, we got Devin, we got Llama, we got DB3D Dan, Matt1UK, Jonathan Barnes, John Mack, what's up, John? Henry Land, Devin Rizzo, and Danny Sella. I probably said your name wrong. See Tony Reek and Torin here. Kevin's in here, telling me that the tools are in the drawer. Yeah, I eventually figured that out. It's Sunday, and I haven't had much caffeine or vape, so that's going to be my excuse. I'm sticking to it. It's the weekend. Leave me alone. Just wanted to hang out with some nerds on the internet and build a printer. Oh god. Alright, so I'm hooking the Z motors up. I mean, this is pretty easy to build. The plugs are nice quality. I like it. I got no real, like, complaints at this point. But the stream is young. Let's see here. Ooh, something feels... it won't go down. Oh, I see. Because the screws back themselves out on the Z over here. Or someone didn't put them in all the way. Yep. That'll do it. That's not the right size Allen key. I just built the machines and my tools are kind of all over the place right now. It's not the right size either. Eventually I will find the right one. Oh, hang on. See, I didn't put my stuff away after I was done. It's not a 2. Of course I'm looking for the 2.5. It should be on my desk here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. Palm Beach. Where are my 2.5? Oh boy. Not move that around. I think this is a 2.5. This is a 2.5. I don't know. It's probably been like this for more than 4 hours. Should probably call a doctor. All right. Let me just make sure these are tight. Is it going to go down now? There we go. Okay, I don't need to call a doctor. Now, here's a nice little thing that they added. This linking belt at the top here. This is nice because this keeps them in sync. I've done this on a few of my printers here, and this is really smart to do, especially when you're having an ABL probe, because this has like that pressure probe on here. Because if this gets out of skew, okay, the ABL system doesn't work. So it's really nice that they put this on because it's going to help keep it locked in so that they don't get a million tech support questions asking why it's closer on one side of the bed or the other. If you ever have, like, whether you have an easy ABL or BL Touch, if you have like one side that's closer than the other, it's because your gantry is off. That's why, because the probe will compensate for your bed, but not the gantry. It's two different mechanical portions that the bed probe compensates for the bed, not your gantry. So there's a little fun fact about ADL probes. So now the question is, though, do they have this all locked in? So if I bring this all the way to the top, the wheels, because these brackets should be the same size, the wheels should both be at the top. Well, I guess, you know what? They're probably just pushing it up against here. Oh, no, you can't, because eyeballing it looks halfway decent, so we're just going to send it. I'm just going to send it. All right, so these are the little clips here to cable manage your cable. I mean, I would have rather seen zip ties, because these are already like kind of moving. Like, I mean, it works, but like they're just gonna end up they're probably gonna end up all bunched up with each other at some point. But I mean, it works. It looks nice. I really like the aesthetics of this machine so far. Like, it looks nice. There's a lot of injection molded parts. I don't see, unless they're hiding somewhere. Well, I didn't even know it had a light. There's a little light here to light up your nozzle. That's a nice touch. I don't see any 3D printed parts on here. So, and like I said, I don't have a problem with 3D printed parts. I just feel like, especially once you start getting into more expensive machines, you want to see less 3D printed parts. Especially on ones that are higher volume like this. Like, this is a higher volume machine that they're mass assembling. You know, go injection molding. All right. So this comes off of here like this, looks like. Like, okay, so it's removable. All right, ready? Ready? Oh. I'm not a huge fan of these plates, but, oh God. Okay, well, that's not a smooth peel like an LCD. All right. But could definitely put a flex plate on here, and I'll probably end up putting a flex plate on here. Let's see. On one of the beds, probably 235, is it? No, am I reading this right? 230, 245. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger bed than the Ender 3. Or no, wait, 255? 255 by 245. Well, that's weird. So it's not the same in both directions. So this is 255 by 245. So we have to make a new size for flex plates for this. I like some Creality machines. They solid mounted the bed because it's got their little like pressure probe thingy mahoos it on here. So there's no springs. So far, initial impressions, I'm liking it. It seems like they did a lot of things correctly on here. We'll see when it actually prints. As far as I know, the only thing people have been saying is like kind of a pain is their or a problem with this machine is that switch going up in smoke, which is a major problem because it's not on the DC side, it's on the AC side. So that's like your mains power that is going through a part that's known to have issues. So, whoa! Oh, you guys didn't get to see it. It wasn't on camera all the way. I got to see it. All right. I mean, we should be pretty much done at this point. I'm going to assume that they already have something on the SD card here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to put their tools back in here. I got to put this on, which is a spool holder. And from what I saw, it just clips in. Clip it in here. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, I mean that works. Interesting. This is a oh, it like folds up. It's a little loose, but I mean this will work. It's just a spool holder. It's not the end of the world that it's a little wobbly. No, the print area is probably the same as an Ender 3, or maybe even a little bigger, but the physical plate. So you could put a 235 on here. Just unscrew these two screws holding these clamps. You get rid of these clamps, and even the ones in the back. You could put a 235 plate on here like we carry now. It's just not going to physically cover the whole bed, but it'll cover the print area. So, they put T-nuts in here. Oh, they're for the handle. They're for the handle up top. All right, we got to put the handle on. Come on. Ah. Got to put the handle on. What's a printer without a handle? It's kind of fiddly. There we go. All right. There's one. Let's get the other one in. That sounds like a personal problem there, Matt. All right. There we go. Let's go and put the handle on. Oh. Didn't rotate. There we go. There we go. Got some weight to it. All right. It did say to check the voltage. So, oh, it's on the rear. It's set to 230. Okay, we're set to 115. Our power receptacle is on the left. So, now the moment that everybody's watching for. I know you guys didn't come to watch me. You came to see if this thing catches on fire. I'm not stupid. All right. Okay, we're booting. Now, let's run some current through here. So prepare. I'm gonna do preheat ABS. And let's see. The sticker's not on perfectly. It's like covering part of the it's covering part of the side of the LCD, whatever. All right, it's starting to heat up. Okay, it's going. Now, they said that a very small percentage of these have the issue with the power switch, okay? Oh, well, I accidentally turned it off. I mean, the switch feels okay. Let me restart it. I'll tell it to heat again. It sparked, but now stuck. He had an issue when he plugged the USB in. That's not good. I'm kind of sketched out to plug it into my computer then. I mean, I do have USB hubs. I could plug it into a USB hub. Let's let it heat up. I want to put some load on that switch. And then we're going to do an auto home and make sure it does all the basic stuff. Let's tell it to home. Assuming control. No, oh, LED. See that? Oh, the LED works. Little blue LED here. I like that. Control. Yeah, there's no. Okay, so prepare. Move. I feel like the bed on this heats up slower than the Ender 3s. I could be imagining things, but I feel like my Ender 3 would have been at 60C already. Is this home? Oh, it is home. Okay, so the middle button's home. So this does have, or is supposed to have the trinamic drivers. It sounds like it has trinamic drivers. It's pretty quiet. It's as loud as a, it's as loud as a printer with trinamics. You can't hear the fans. The fans are loud, but it's as loud as a printer that would have trinamics as I was expected to be. It does have a ZN stop, so I'm assuming they're using the ZN stop and... I don't know, the ZN stop did... It triggered, but it didn't stop, so I think it's using the nozzle as the Z. It just has a ZN stop there for some reason. Alright, let's load filament in. I'm going to use, since I did include a full roll, I am going to use their filament. Oh yeah, the glass could be making it run, because the other ones I have flex plates on. But we're at 60C now. I like this spool. This looks nice. You can actually see how much plastic you have left. Creality's filament has traditionally actually been decent in my experience. I don't think I've had a roll of their stuff that didn't print well, like in all the ones that came with the printers. So, all right, let's snip this. I'm going to cut it at an angle. Put this on here. And as far as I know, you lift this little lever up back here, which opens it, and then you feed it in. There we go. That was pretty painless. Good job. Good job, Creality. Here, coming out the nozzle. All right, I'm gonna put that down, so that should lock it onto the plastic. Let me see if there's anything special required. They definitely tested this because there's black filament coming out of the nozzle. Okay, so they have a feed. Oh, let's see, 50. Okay, feed. Not doing anything. Just going back and forth. Like, the plastic is just jerking. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. You see that? That's what my extruder is doing. So I tell it to load. Feed. That's all it's doing. It's just going in and out. Let me reseat the cables here. Oh! The e-motor cable wasn't plugged in all the way from the factory. That'll do it. Alright, well, simple enough fix. Yeah, I already put a number in the box. It was the cable was out a little bit. Alright, so let's try that again. Prepare, preheat, feed. Let's do 50 to flush out the black. Are we going in now? We're feeding in now. Okay. That helps to have the cable plugged in all the way. Yep, it's feeding. It's going in slow, but it's feeding. No, it's 10 millimeters off the bed. We should start seeing it flush out. There we go. All right, so I'm seeing white now, so I just restarted it just so it's gone. All right, let's see. I'm assuming they have pre-sliced G code. They don't. Weird. I pull it out, put it back in. There's 5 pages and there's nothing on there. I hit print, but I didn't have anything selected. I don't know what it's gonna do. It's not heating anything up. Okay. So it auto homes. All right. Let's see. Since this has got their firmware on here, I'm gonna look at the directions. Okay, level the platform. Okay, cable connections. We already did all that. Flip the switch. All right, it says select. Okay, so we got a level. So I have to go to level and then hit auto leveling. Okay, so it's going to heat the nozzle to 120. It's already there. Yeah, I figured they are not in the root, but if you're shipping the SD card with the printer, it should have it already on the root. But I'll move those files around while this is doing its thing. Okay, yep. So there is an EEPROM.dat file, which means that they don't have EEPROM support in their firmware. All right, model. Yeah, they got a bunch of G-code files in here. So I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to make an actual copy of the SD card right now to my computer. And I thought I had a folder called SD dumps. Apparently not. I'm going to make one. CR-6-SE, and I'm going to date it 9/19/2020, and we're just going to move all those off. Yeah, it should be in the root from the factory. There's no reason they can't do that. So their little like pressure thing is working. All right, I'm copying the G-code files that they sliced to the root, and I'm going to power cycle the printer because this does look like it's saving the EEPROM 2 SD card, which means like the leveling and stuff I just did is probably not going to save. So if you have the factory firmware on this printer, you want to keep the SD card in. Otherwise, your settings, if you have anything in EEPROM, it's not going to be saved because it's not saving it to the CPU. I believe, let me see. I thought they said that they were doing a 32-bit CPU, but looking at the photos, this almost looks like a 2560 here. This is a photo of their board. It looks like it. No, maybe that's not a 2560. I don't know. We're gonna look at it though. The fact that it's saving the EEPROM to SD card tells me that it's probably a 32-bit because the 2560 has EEPROM memory. And what Marlin does is they use part of the program memory on these STM chips to store the EEPROM in. So I'm gonna do a leveling again because then it's gonna store that leveling in the EEPROM.dat file on the SD card. Whereas when I just did it, it wasn't doing that because the SD card wasn't installed. They're just talking about preheating methods, manual entering it in versus doing the preheat. Filament loading, and then just basic stuff. So we're gonna print one of the files that come with it, and then we're gonna dig into the electronics of this, and we're gonna see what's going on with that. How's everybody doing today? While we're waiting for this to level, come on, chat, engage with me. We got 114 people. Wow, only 16 likes. Come on. I personally don't care if people like our videos, but YouTube does. So if you like the content we make here, and you like that we put up our own money and buy printers to do videos and honest teardowns and whatnot, then go ahead and smash that like button. Smash it. You gotta say smash that like button, otherwise you're not a real YouTuber. It's in the YouTuber manual. I don't know if you know that. You gotta say smash that button. Just, yeah, whatever. You guys get the point. So what's everybody doing today? Let's see. No boom today, boom tomorrow. Let's see. That's some nerdy quote apparently. 16 likes is good for me. Oh, we're at 30 now. Joke's on you. 39. You guys, I love you guys. We're doing well. It's getting colder here because we're in Indiana. But honestly, I'm kind of ready to not be running the air conditioning. Our freaking electric bill is insane. Okay, so we leveled correctly twice now. Okay. And I'm going to hit print. Okay, now I see all the stuff on the screen here. All right, we've got a bunch of stuff. What do you guys want? We got Eevee, Dragon, Dog 25H, Dengzi, Cat 3.5H, Shoe 2, Shoe, Pot of Greed, Pig 4H, Kit, Puga, Chebs, and Kit Loop. And that's it. What do we want? What are we printing? Come on. I just listed off all the G-code files. What are we printing? Oh, Vert, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Let's see. Ender 3 owner, as an Ender 3 owner, this live stream is important to me. Yeah, this looks like this is one of the printers I was actually like excited to check out because I wanted to see how well they did because this is supposed to be their premium machine. I just tensioned the belts a little bit. Dragon, Dragon, Dog. Okay, we got 3 for Dragon. Pot of Greed. Got 1 for Cat. We got Dragon. Okay. Oh, John got his Easy Flex. Dude, I love the Easy Flex. Using this stuff, like, it's okay, but once you know what you're missing, you can't go back. It's so hard. All right. We're going to print the Dragon. You just saw smoke. No, that's me. So I'm going to assume here that there's some Z offset, although there shouldn't be a Z offset if it's using the nozzle. Do they have... They do have a Z offset. It's set to 0.2 right now. Positive 0.2. I'm going to turn the light on, because why not? I'm going to have it heat the nozzle, too. At the same time, just to cut down on time. I feel like... I don't know if this is just me and my perception, but I feel like this bed takes longer to heat up than the Ender 3s did. It could just be me. But I feel like the Ender 3s I've dealt with heat up faster than this. It gets the temp, but I'm just being picky here. Here, you guys want a CR-6 SE with some smoke? Hang on, give me a sec. Oh no! There's a little bit, except there's a fan blowing on here, so that failed. I failed at that. And my artificial smoke. It's at 55 of 60. Yeah, like I said, I feel like, I mean, it could even be a firmware setting too. Oh, hang on, look at. This bed's a little loose. I forgot to check the eccentrics. Ooh. You know what? We're gonna adjust the eccentrics because these are too These are way too tight, and these are too loose. Yeah. I usually check that stuff, but I didn't. Oh, I got some flat spots on these wheels because they over-tightened them. Son of a bitch. This is why I don't like when they over-tighten the wheels at the factory, because you get flat spots from sitting in the box being over-tightened. Fucking annoying. I'd rather them be too loose, because then they don't get flat spots. Then you just get this. Like, this is too loose. There's eccentric on this side. Yeah, that one's loose. That one's loose. All right, let me see if I can show you guys what I'm doing here. Enhance. Come on, enhance more. No. Hang on. Hang on. Let me see. I got like all these mounts and stuff on this camera. Come on. Rotate. Damn you. All right. Hang on. I'm trying here. I'm trying. Hang on. I got to tighten it all up. Hang on. Among Us, I bought it. I haven't played it yet. Okay, apparently this is not wanting to focus auto correctly. But that's okay. We got a proper lens on here. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting these wheels. So these are your eccentric nuts. And as you turn these, it moves the wheel this way. Okay? So like, that's too tight. And you can feel it when you're adjusting these, if it's going too tight. And this doesn't like, so like, see how this is loose now? And I can just spin it. I always get these to where you have just enough tension where the wheel doesn't spin when you just run your finger on it, but if you hold on to it, you can break it loose. So that's what I just did here. This one's too loose. It's hard to look at the camera and adjust these. Okay, I went too tight on that one now. Come back just a little bit and then check it. There we go. So now this moves the whole printer. You see that? You like that? There's a reason I bought fancy cameras. So I can actually do close-ups pretty easily. All right, so now that, like, look, see? Now it moves the whole printer instead of the bed. You like that? All right, so let's try this again. Dragon. Print. Actually, you know what? The dragon, that's that big one, I think. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do pot of greed. No, that's probably big. It's a Creality. Let's do the cat. I hope this is the cat I'm thinking of that they're known for. Why is the bed at 45? We need 60 for this plate. Layer fan should be off. There it goes. Okay. All right. We're heating up now. The i3 Mega is a really old machine and just haven't had time to do it. Although now that we got Marlin 2 out, which is what we're waiting for, so we can run the screen and another screen, so like the touch screen and another screen. That was what we were waiting for. So, but I don't know how big that market is, so I'll be honest with you, it's low on the priority list because it's just, It's not a very popular machine as far as I know, but I do still have it, and it's in my garage here. I'm literally the only person that does firmware here, so I have to prioritize things. And one of the things was Creality changed boards on us, like mid-production on the Ender 3, so we were selling products that were supposed to be compatible with the Ender 3, and because Creality changed the board without letting anybody know, we had to immediately shift the priorities. And by we, I mean me. So, yeah. All right. Bed's at 60, nozzle's almost at temp, so we should start printing soon. So, I mean, I already work a ton of hours. There's only so much time in the day, but I am planning on doing it. I just don't have an ETA for you because I got to take care of the ones that are more popular first. Because it's basically, like, we've never supported that machine. So it's more or less like, not like we're leaving people hanging in terms of, hey, they changed something. The Creality ones are the majority of our volume here for stuff. So it sucks, but that's what you have to do. You have to prioritize what gets attention. All right, so it's homing. Oh, that's it. So it doesn't even take a new mesh. I'm assuming it stored the mesh in EEPROM. It's a little high. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's printing a raft. Why are we printing a raft? It's 2020. So this looks like the Z offset is moving this down. Yeah, so we're getting a little more squish. So my Z offset on this one is at 0. So it's not in the center though. I wonder what code they're using. I wonder if they just threw like the Creality CR10 code on this. I made an archive of the SD. Let me take a look at it here. Because it's like, it's not centered. Unless they just threw it in there and we're like, good enough. Let me see. SD dumps. CR-6 SE model. Cat 3H. Let's see. This was sliced with, this is a simplified 3D file. It says it was sliced on April 20th, 2019. Profile name just says default, modified. I'm looking through here. Or I can show you guys here. Main monitor. So this is what I'm looking at. This is the G code it's printing right now. So you can see here, this is actually against Simplified 3D's terms of service. You're not allowed to share your G code. So they're technically in violation, but they're in China. So what are they going to do? Sue them? They can't. Sometimes they have, like, because this is basically the profile, because you can import this as a profile. I'm looking to see what the machine size is set to. Usually, did I miss it? Starting G code. They have a G29. Did they? Did it do it? Oh, it did. Wait, G28? No, there's no G29 here. So they must have modified this code. I'm just curious to see, like, what... Oh, yeah, here. Right here. So this is a CR10 G code. They're just reusing it. There you go. 300 by 300 by 400. So they didn't even slice new code for this. Like, obviously this code was sliced in 2019 according to the note in here. And this profile's from 2017. Oh yeah, they're doing a 0.1 layer height? Really? Well, Tor, considering the version's 401, and that's the one I see everybody using that version of, because apparently the newer one, I wouldn't know because I buy my software like a good person. Um, but yeah, I would not put it past them that they're using a pirated copy. But this is also an older version too. But it was sliced in 2019. 401 was old in 2019 when this was sliced. I don't know if there's any way for them to like. I don't know if there's anything in the G-code file that would like prove if they had a pirated copy or not. But given that they're on 401 and this was sliced in 2019, I would put money on it that they're using a pirated copy of S3D because it's the old version. And this was sliced in 2019. So, yeah, I'll just leave that there. But again, they're in China. What are you going to do? Sue Creality, who's in China? Like, China doesn't give a crap about copyright law at all. All right, let's go back here. So it is printing. This is definitely CR10 G code. This is not sliced for this printer or even for an Ender 3. So, I mean, it works. It does technically work. It's just not centered. But someone who notices stuff like that, like me, is like, huh, this looks like you just took code you already had instead of slicing something new specifically for this machine. Now, is this doing ABL compensation? There's no ABL compensation. Oh, wait. Oh, it is. It is. I was wrong. It's very slightly moving. So it stored the mesh. So they're storing the mesh into the EEPROM file, which is where it's getting that mesh data from. So it's done doing the raft. It's doing the actual cat right now. Is that the version that's cracked? I legitimately do not know because we've got 6 or 7 licenses at this point. So, but it's funny because you'll see people with the pirated version posting in like the groups looking for help with it, and it's like, at least if you're going to use the pirated copy, at least crop it out. Like, there was actually a guy who does miniatures. I can't remember the channel name, but he was using a pirated copy S3D, and you could see it in the video. There we go. It's printing nice. Ironically, you can actually see it better with the light off. I do have a ring light on this camera, though, so if I turn the ring light off versus on. But it's printing nice. It's quiet. So far, I mean, I like it. I like the machine. I do. Um, I mean, this is going to be really nice for people that are just getting into 3D printing. Especially since it has auto bed leveling by default. So yeah, ask away. We usually, so those of you that are new, when we're waiting for the print to finish, we usually won't let the print go all the way, just obviously it takes a long time. But now is the time to ask questions about stuff 3D printing related. So ask away. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that I see you, Matt. You guys should buy Simplify 3D if you use it. Like, I know a lot of people like Cura, but my opinion is that I think S3D works great. It may not have all the bleeding edge features, but when we're doing stuff where we have to have prints work and we don't want to fiddle around with software, S3D works great. Um, you know, Cura is nice, but there's been many a times where there's been updates for Cura where they've broken things. So I'll take stability over having the latest and greatest all the time. What's the next project? The Easy Plug firmware, which is almost done. I got all the power monitoring working. I got the bug on startup where the switch wasn't working, so the factory could actually test them fixed. I just got to flash a couple more and make sure it's working on all of them. I've got about a dozen of them here for testing, and then literally just send them the new firmware file, and then just send it. So if you guys notice, I've been doing a lot of firmware lately. There's been a lot of new releases. We're on Marlin 2 now. I've actually got this little board here. This is a 1284p board. This has the new Marlin 2061 on it. And I have it working without ABL, but the problem is, like we had on the last firmware, which took a while. Is my light flickering? Or am I seeing things? Is my ring light flickering? Anyways, when you enable ABL, it runs out of memory, so I have to do my voodoo magic and slim down the firmware so it fits in the 128K of program memory. Yeah, that ring light definitely was shutting off. I just saw the replay on the on my screen here, but I'm sitting here watching it now because I think it's shut off a couple of times now. Ring light, are you malfunctioning? It's probably going to be the power supply. I don't know what I have this plugged into, whether it's I have this plugged into a hub or it's plugged into like a power adapter. I'll have to troubleshoot that later. You see the Easy ABL Mini. I have you're doing a drawing for it. I have. Oh, yep. It just shut off. I saw it. I have CAD models for it already. So if you email support, we can send you the Fusion link. No, that's I'm gonna take a look under the desk and see. I think that's plugged into a power adapter, which might be shutting off. Yep, it's plugged into this power adapter here. Oh yeah. So it's plugged into a thing. This is plugged into oh, you can't see it. So this thing is like burning hot. I think this is overheating, which is driving a 12 volt. There's a 4-port charger or power adapter that the ring light's plugged into, and this is failing. Oh, this has got cracks and stuff in it. Oh, yeah, this is a crappy adapter. That's okay. I've got spares. Where'd that adapter go? I just set it. I set it down. I wanted to look at it. Yeah, this was the power adapter that was driving the ring light. Look at this. That thing is on its last legs here. Well, that's some quality there. Honestly, the best updated printer is the one the user upgrades with parts the user likes, isn't it? It depends. I know what you're saying, and I do agree. But there are some people that do just want a printer that works. You know, and has all the latest features, which is what this would be. So, I mean, this seems pretty decent. Obviously, this power adapter that was powering my my little 4-port USB thing is screwed up. But, oh, that smells toasty. This is some quality Chinesium right here. This is quality. Oh, those are the prongs. Those are the prongs that pull the that handle the AC current. Oh yeah, this thing, I have a feeling this was it because this smells like burning electronics on the inside. Ooh. Well, that's quality. Oh, you want to see some quality? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not, there's no visual burning, but it smells. You guys, I don't have smell-o-vision yet. But it smells like ass. There's no other way to put it. It literally just smells terrible. So yeah, that's this is just gonna go in the bin. I'm gonna keep the cable though. Yeah, that was a fire waiting to happen. This is still hot. Ooh. Okay, that's going in the garbage. Binary Manga, order the aluminum extruder. Looking forward to install on your CR-10S. Yeah, that'll be a nice upgrade. Those plastic ones that crack. It's a really nice, simple upgrade. Other than easy ABL, anything you recommend for your 10S? Just keep an eye on your fans. The fans, especially on like the newer ones, I feel like they are using cheaper and cheaper fans now. They are known to go out. We do carry replacements for that, but I mean, like on a CR10, like the easy ABL is great just because you don't have to worry about leveling. And then the plastic extruder, I'd say like the plastic extruder is definitely something that really sucks on those. Do you have any Core XY printers? I have one, and that's the Dauntless right here, which is one that I'm waiting on some parts from Joe from Project R3D. So this is a beta, and he's got some parts for me to update it to the latest revision. So Core XY is a very interesting platform. They print fast and they print well, but in my opinion, you can get for normal print speeds like 60 millimeters a second, you can get a Cartesian to print just as good. Oh yeah, the Easy Flex if you don't want to be dealing with scrapers anymore. The Easy Flex is great for any machine that we have support for. Oh, you got your Easy Board in? Nice, Dan. I missed that. I'm just going back through chat right now. Will you support touchscreens in the future with your firmware? It really depends. The short answer is going to be probably not. Because they're closed source. You can't. I can get you guys more features on a traditional screen than on a touch screen because these companies are using closed source screens. That's the entire issue here. Is there's no open source firmware for these Creality touchscreens. It's all through. It's DWin is the company that makes them, and they just they don't release the source code. So there's certain hacks and like tweaks you can do, but in terms of being able to like change the entire layout, the look and everything, add new features, and you really can't do that because the source code is closed. Like you can change images around and move some text around a little bit, but they're very limited. I played briefly, and I have one of the Big Tree Tech ones here, and they are open source, but the hardware is not very good. I have two of them. One of them ended up, I had it hooked up, powered over USB, touched the side of the screen, like on the edges, grabbed it by the edges, and the screen shut off, and then my board wouldn't boot anymore. So I don't have much confidence in those. Yeah, we're probably out of some flex plate sizes. We have a very large order coming in. I believe it's like 1.5 tons, literally 1.5 tons of plates and magnets. So I'm just looking at the print over here. My preview for OBS is over here on my right monitor. It's looking good. I wish this wasn't at a 0.1 layer height. Now, I can change the print speed, so let's set it to 200 and see what happens. I'm going to bump the nozzle temp up just to give it a little more heat, since it's going to be printing fast. We're chooching. So I don't see my ring light flickering anymore, so it must have been that power adapter. And not the actual the step down with the USB ports on it. That would require me to be able to get electronics made in the US, and considering all the chips are not made here, and the ones that the board assembly we can get done here, but people already bitch about paying the price they do. So because consumers are cheap, and China makes stuff, we're forced to do stuff overseas because otherwise the products won't sell. When my cost getting stuff made in the US is as much or more than my retail price of the current stuff, it's not viable. And I'd rather be in business than go out of business and be like, well, we tried doing made in US. The reality is people aren't going to pay more for the made in the US stuff. They say they will, but the majority of people are not. So if we get more manufacturing back here and the cost gets down, yeah, I'd have no issue moving over. But if I want to stay in business, I can't. And that's the sad reality of where we're at right now. You know, when China is paying people a couple dollars an hour and I have to pay people, you know, our lowest paid person here is like people that pack stuff, and they're making $10 an hour just pack stuff. And like other people are making 13, 14, 15 or higher. In China, I could hire like 5 people or more for the same price I'm paying one person here. But I could go on a rant about why China's cheaper, but this is not the place for that. But if I can find stuff that's made in the US that's cheap, well, not cheap, cheap's the wrong word, that's only a little bit more than what we can get it from overseas, I'll do it. But the problem is we can't. I've tried to find it, and I can't be selling a board for $200 just to be able to say it's made in the US. People aren't going to buy it. People already complain about our one that we use Taiwan place to make it for us. So, anyways, that'd be a good discussion for like a hangout stream, because I've got a lot of other stuff. But, you know, if we're sitting here playing with a Chinese printer, if this was made in the US, this printer would be over $1,000. I guarantee it. So, but it's printing. It's printing pretty well. Yeah, I mean the short thing is everybody's all made in the US until they see the price tag that comes along with it. So, I mean, what we do is we get stuff from everywhere. China, Japan, Germany, Taiwan. We have some stuff from the US, but we do all the final QC here in the US. So, I mean, that's what we do, is like kind of a hybrid approach where We get them made wherever we can get the best price for the quality, and then have all the QC done here in the US. So, but until costs of doing business come down in the US compared to these other countries, and you know, like I said, I could go on a rant, and there's a bunch of other factors of why China can do stuff cheap. But that would be a good topic to talk about on a Hangout stream. So, but the point is, just being in the US, you have more costs and more overhead than doing business in China. So, yeah, this is I don't know why this is looking like they slice it for 100% infill. I'm gonna let this go for a couple more layers and then can it, because I really want to get in here and look at that power switch and see what's going on with that. If we have one that's potentially affected by the issue that they identified, and just take a general look at everything else. Yeah, so for filament, we buy, I'd say at least 90% of our filament we purchase is from the US. We buy stuff from Coax. I bought from Push Plastics. I've bought from Atomic. Coax is where we buy a lot of our bulk filament from. And that's only a couple bucks more a roll. So we do that. That is cost effective. And the only reason, I don't know if you guys know this, a lot of these Chinese companies that make especially PLA, they import the plastic pellets from the US and extrude them in China, and that's why they're able to do it for a couple of bucks less. But I highly recommend checking out a bunch of US filament makers, because you're talking like $2-3 a roll, maybe $5 for your average. I'm not talking about the fancy ones with like glitter and, you know, hybrid blends and stuff. Like, we're just talking PLA to PLA. We try to stick with Coax. That's what we buy a lot of our ABS and PLA from, is Coax. They're out of Wisconsin. So we already do that, and we try to prioritize that. The only time I've bought Chinese stuff is like when we're in a pinch and we're like waiting on an order, or we need something right away, or a one-off color, then we'll grab stuff from Amazon or wherever. And we've bought like Matter Hacker stuff before, and it's okay, but they're just they're white labeling eSun, I believe. Based on like the spools and everything and the markings, it looks like eSun, but eSun's a Chinese company, and they're halfway decent. I've printed a lot of eSun. But Coax is my go-to. If I'm doing a big order, I go to Coax to buy that. There's another guy, I think BD3D Customs is the name, and I get filament from him, but he white labels stuff from a Chinese company, and it's good quality stuff. But we do get a lot of our filament from Coax. So, yeah, they have BD3D Customs. Oh, he's out of stock. So, but his stuff is good quality. It's like 21 bucks a roll. We get a better pricing because we buy in bulk, but his stuff is good, but it's Chinese filament. But Coax is my go-to. So, yeah, they're moving right now. I did get that email from them. So, but they're good people, and their filament's good. I've only had a couple of bad ABS rolls from them, and they took care of it, so I really can't complain at all. Yeah. That printer is printing in air? No, it's not. All right, I'm gonna stop this right now, because this is looking like they did 100% infill, and it's 0.1 layer height, so this is going to take forever. All right, let's see what happens when we stop the print. So at Holmes X and Y. Okay. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it stops a print. Let's get this off here. I know you can let it cool, but I'm impatient. There we go. All right, let's take a look. Enhance. So that's not ringing, that's just the cat. Looks pretty good. Let's see how it comes off the raft. It does. Came off pretty clean. Yeah, I would say this would be a pretty good print if I let it finish. But it looks like it's doing 100% infill because these are all solid. But I should have grabbed a different color. I wanted to use their filament because white's kind of hard to see, but the extrusions look good. They look really good. They're even, they're consistent. The layers look good. Like, I know what this is definitely the same cat G code that they've been using for a while, obviously, like we saw. So I know what the bottom should look like. Yeah, this looks good. All right. Maybe I'll do a hangout stream later. I got to see what... I know the wife and I had some stuff that we're going to be doing later. But if I have time, maybe what I'll do is I'll slice up like a bench or something, let this print, and then we can hang out while it's going and then take a look at it. If not today, then another day. Can the EasyBoard support a 1.8 amp stepper? I'm assuming you mean a motor. The TMC 2208s, I believe 1.8 is the peak, or not the peak, the continuous. I'm gonna pull up the data sheet right now. I don't know why you would need that on a machine like this. It'd be overkill. I believe it's 1.7 RMS. Let me see. I'm looking here. I know it's 2 amps peak. Come on. I'm scrolling through their data sheet right now. 2208, 2 amps peak, and continuous 1.4 amps. So 2 amp peak, 1.4 continuous. Which do I like right off the bat initially, the V2 or the CR-6 SE? If we're taking price into consideration, and upgradability down the road, I do really like the Ender 3 V2. But this has more features than the Ender 3 V2. So, I mean, initially I like them both. I'm still not a fan of these screens just because they're closed source, but they work. So, it's just when you start wanting to get into upgrading and playing with things that you're going to start hitting roadblocks because they don't share the source code for the LCDs. So there's only so much stuff that people like me and the Marlin devs and other people that make firmware can do because you're limited to what the screen already has on it. So you have a hard time getting stuff added in. I know there are some people that have experience with the DWin software that are working on new firmware for these, but it's coming along very slowly. Kind of hard to develop for a machine when you don't have source code for it. So this housing comes apart very similar to the Ender 3. There's a screw on top. There's one on bottom. Okay, this is a 32-bit chip. They got a nice big fan on here. I like this. And this goes into fan 1. I believe it's a Meanwheel. The power supply is probably in here. Let's see. So this is an STM32F103RET6. So this is the same CPU that's on their 422 boards and their 427 boards, which is a 512K memory 32-bit STM32. So this is a better processor than what Big Tree Tech's using on their boards. Same thing with the 422 and the 427. The only downside is, and I'm assuming this is the same because I see potentiometers here for the voltage reference adjustment, for the VREF. They're probably not running them in UART mode, so while the Big Tree Tech boards are more limited on memory, they have half the program memory. The one benefit they do have is they do have UART control of the drivers, which our Easy Board also has. But whenever you see potentiometers with trinamic drivers, you can assume they're running in standalone mode. So I'm going to assume, based on what I see here, that these are in standalone mode, which also means you can't run linear advance on this machine. This is a main well, LRS 350-24, which is what I would have assumed if you had asked me, well, what power supply do you think is in here? I would have said this one, because this is your standard fare, 14.6 amp output, 24 volt, 350 watt. The switch is kind of loose, like pretty loose actually. Is this just a switch moving in the housing? I think it is. Let's go deeper, because this is, as far as I know, the switch is what was burning up on these printers. From the details I have, Creality hasn't, as far as I know, as of talking to you on this live stream, I don't think they've acknowledged what the actual issue is. They've just said there's a problem. Yeah, I mean, this just looks like a cheap switch. It's just a regular switch. So I think this switch was failing. From what I was saying, that the current going through here, it was just burning it up. But I mean, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I mean, this is a little loose though. Push that on. They used the right size crimps on here? Looks like they did. Maybe? Well, there goes that washer. It's a live stream. I dropped something. There we go. Oh, that's connected to... Okay. Well, they did good on the grounding. So there's that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this switch here. So, I mean, these aren't, they're a little loose, but not, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna have to show you guys this on the scope. I don't like this at all. Scope. Hang on, I gotta switch it. So here's what I'm seeing going, oh. Okay. So if you see, this will make sense why these are burning up. Okay, so you see these, you got the blades here coming out of the switch. So this is like a little light. So if they connected, so this is the line. If they connect to neutral here, the switch would light up. That's what these legs are for. But watch when I move this. That whole blade is just loose in here. Look at that. And this is your mains power. This isn't like DC where it's like annoying if it breaks. This is your wall power going through this. Let me see if I can get this shield up here so I can get this connector off. Come on. Yeah, because these have like a little, see a little locking tab here? Come on. I don't want to like yank it because it'll probably... Oh. Well, at least the locking tab works. There's that. It won't let it go back off. But here, maybe you guys see it better now that the plastic is pulled up here. So, like, this moves. Look at that. Look how loose this is. Like, well, is this one loose too? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my hands are so shaky. So, as far as I know, this switch was the point of failure on the CR-6s that we saw, or that people were posting about. Like, because this goes through the contacts. Let's take this apart because I don't care if I have other switches here, so I can replace this if I do some destructive disassembly on it here. Get this. I'm popping the switch out of the housing here is what I'm doing right now. So this is rated at 6 amps, 250, 10 amps, 120, or 125. Yeah, there we go. I got the one off. All right, there we go. I got the switch out. Okay, let me go in my drawer. I have other power switches from different manufacturers, and they're just cheap ones, okay? I think here. So these are just some cheap ones I got off Amazon. I use them for random projects, okay? Different style, but you can see here, these blades don't move. Now, this is a higher rate. Is this the same brand? KCD? CQC? So this is the same brand, supposedly. What are the odds of that? What are the actual odds of that? That I just happen to have the same brand random like switch sitting in my thing. So this is the style switches that they were using on other machines, like on the CR-10. That's why I have these, is because these are the ones, and these feel really good. So these have a nice click. This one's very soft. This is just, I'm just giving you guys my input here. But so these are ones I bought in like a pack of 10 on Amazon, and I've used these for like, I don't know, 3-4 amp applications. And like, here, if you guys hear, there's obviously a heavier rated switch, but it's got that nice click. But this one's just like very, very quiet. But I've dealt with these kind of switches before, and they shouldn't be loose like this. Because, I'm just going to take this to bits so I can show you guys. So the reason why this matters is typically, now based on my experience with dealing with these kind of switches, is typically these, okay, poke through into here, and then there's like a metal bar that goes across from here to here, and it makes contact with these. So if this is loose, okay, it's not going to make good contact, okay? But we should be able to open this up and see if I just... The only reason I'm looking at this is because on these particular machines, these switches were causing problems. That's the only reason we're looking at this. If there were no issues reported, I wouldn't even be taking this apart. All right, so let's see what's inside here. So there's the light. Now let's see if I move this. How is this constructed? So we have these are two main leads here. There's a little resistor there for the light. How is this all linked together? Okay, so when I move the little terminals, these move too. So this must all be one piece. Is it? Or is it just touching it? Let's get in here. Oh, look at this. This is just sitting on here. So this just sits on... Is that arcing? Do you see that? Is that arcing already? I see some arcing marks. Is it? See a little bit right here. Okay. So this literally just sits on... These literally just sit on here. So if these aren't making good contact, so this is what all your power's running through. So if these aren't making good contact, they're going to cause problems and heat up. And you can already see that's arcing right there. Look at that. And there's nothing on here because there's no... This side of it was not used at all. So this is the line. Yeah, they do arc at some point, but like I said, these switches have been having issues where they've been smoking. So this little piece here just would get pressed down and make contact. So this went in like that. And when it pressed down, Okay, so this is all it did. So as the rocker switch rocks, it does this. That's all it does. So that's off, that's on. That makes sense? So when you flip it off, it goes like that. If you flip it on, it goes like that. So if these moving can affect it, and this is moving quite a bit. You see here. So it looks like the contact point is right here. Where the power is actually going through is right here, this little piece here. That sticks up. Yeah, I'm I'm not, I mean, this is a brand new one, and I feel like that's a lot of arcing. I'm not an expert on these switches, but that's a lot of arcing for a machine that's new. Like, and I don't like that these are so loose. Let's see if I have another on the same brand. I don't have any. I mean, I don't have this same switch. I'm gonna order some though, because I don't have these same switches. So according to this, is a KCD1-104. So I'm gonna order some of these and compare all the markings and everything to them. Maybe this was a bad batch that was causing all these issues, or maybe it was a knockoff. I don't have enough information to make a decision one way or another. Now I can just bypass the switch. So if here, I'll show you guys. If you want to just bypass the switch, which is fine, because then you just unplug the printer, turn it off. So if you want to bypass the switch, you would just get rid of this power here, and then connect the PSU directly to this. So you just disconnect this and go just bypass the switch, and then the switch is out of the picture. So I'll show you what I mean here, because so here's the power receptacle. So this one went to the switch, and then this one went to the PSU. So if you disconnect this from here and just connect this right there, you bypass the switch, and that doesn't cost you anything to do. But I'm going to order some more of these switches. Hey, Chris is here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, it's not. It's the same. Apparently, it's the same brand, but this is a different style switch. This is just a single pole on-off, no light. But same brand. This is just a switch I had, just for comparison, showing that like these terminals don't move on here. But I'm going to order more of these, okay, and compare them. I'm going to see if I can actually find these from like a reputable reseller like Mauser or something. Maybe we'll start carrying these, because there's enough like this. I'm not going to put this. I could probably reassemble this and it would work, but I don't feel comfortable using this, to be completely honest with you guys. How's the green connector on the controller board? Wiggly too? Probably. Not bad. It's what I would expect. All of the Chinese boards use like the generic screw terminals, and they do have wobble to them. It's just, but that's DC. This is AC. That's why this is especially concerning. This is AC current going through here. At least their grounding seems good. Let me test that on the PSU. It doesn't mean well, so I'd expect the ground is going to be fine on here. But just for thoroughness sake, just for the record, the lowest this crappy multimeter reads is like 0.05 ohms or something like, or 0.5 ohms. Let's see. It's not very good. 0.5. So 0.4, 0.5. So this is with the two together. So if I read that, then I know my ground is good. So let's check here. Yeah, we're good. It's a mean well. I would expect that. Yeah, it's not loose solder. It's just they're low end terminals. It's a $40 board. You gotta cut corners somewhere. You can't put Phoenix contacts on there for that price. Are the wires tinned? That's a good question. All right, let's go back. Are the wires tinned? I'm going to say yes because it's Creality and they like to tin their wires, even though I've told them to stop tinning their wires so many times. But I'm going to say they're probably tinned. So this is the power input here. And they're fucking tinned. Yep, they're tinned. And let's check the bed. They're tinned. They're both tinned. So, all you guys need to do to fix this, take them out, snip it, strip off some fresh, okay? And if you see here, even though I cut this off, there's still actually tinning in here. And these aren't individual strands yet, so I gotta actually cut down further. And you'll feel it when you cut into it, if you got still tin wire in there or not. And I'm just using the tool they included. And then just take it, gently squeeze, and then just pull. Just gently squeeze and pull. And now we have wires, okay? We have bare wires. You can put crimp ferrules on here if you got them, but this is better than tinning, okay? These are also tinned here, so I'm going to snip off. And you kind of feel, like I said, when you cut, you can feel, because the solder will sometimes flow into the wires. And strip. And strip. And then you just put them back in. That's all you got to do. And that'll help keep the terminals from burning up. I zoomed in too much. There we go. So, yeah, just snip and strip until you get actual, like, wire. And then twist it, put it back in. So these top two are the bed. This is the main power input for the board. Let me see. I'm going to see Mauser.com. I won't bore you guys with it. I'm going to try to find these switches or a name brand equivalent that's the same size, because if this is a Chinese brand, which I'm going to assume it probably is, there's usually a name brand one from reputable companies that is the same dimensions and size, meaning if I can find what this is copied off of, I can source high quality switches, and then you just pop these out and replace them. So, I'm assuming they tin them just because it's quicker for assembly. That's the only thing I can think of. I have directly told Creality to stop tinning their wires and to either put ferrules on, or at the very least leave them bare. And they don't care. They don't give a shit. But there's been many people whose boards have burned up and the terminals have burned up because they had tin wires. And the thing is, as the current goes through it, they expand and contract, expand and contract, expand and contract. The solder starts cracking, and then the tension and how tight that screw terminal is starts getting looser and looser and looser and looser as that solder's expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting, and then it doesn't make a good connection, and then it arcs, and then it burns up the terminal. That's why you don't want it. So I'm looking up. Yeah, I'm thinking this KCD brand is just some generic Chinese one, because I did find them on Amazon, but they don't look very good. I need to find what these are copied from, because that's part number is not coming up on any reputable sites. Like, it's not pulling up a switch for this. I'm getting like Amazon listings and AliExpress listings. So this is probably a just a Chinese part number. So But I should be able to find something that's an actual decent quality. Because I'm not going to trust it. I'm just going to bypass the switch for right now. The company that makes this switch, or at least one of them, this is how old their site is. They're still using Flash Player. Oh. What's interesting, this has a little separation tab, and it's longer than the one I have. So it's the same as here. I don't know. There's probably a million different versions with all this same part number. You don't really know. So, yep. Like, I don't know what. Here's another one. Is this another part number? Come on. Yeah. Is it? Well, I don't even know what this site is. Don't go to this site because I have no idea if they're legitimate or not. But I was just searching for this. They're showing 50 cents a switch, so I'm not shocked. I don't know. I gotta do some more research and find out what's gonna replace this because I'm not confident in this after seeing the arcing in there. And as you can see, Claire's like, "Hey, Dad, it's time to wrap it up." I agree. So aside from the, well, there it goes. Aside from the janky power switches that have resulted in people's printers smoking and burning up, everything else looks pretty good. Tinned wires, which I just expect at this point. It's not proper. It's not what I recommend. It's not what I like because it does burn up the terminals over time as the solder expands and contracts through all the heating and cooling cycles of current going through them. I don't know if they'll ever stop doing that or if they'll actually do crimp ferrules like they're supposed to, or just at least do bare wires. So I appreciate everybody that stopped by. I hope you guys had fun. Hope you learned something. And come on, dog. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And as always, happy printing. Claire and I are gonna go play now. You wanna go play with the ball? Play the ball? Yeah? Okay, we're gonna go play with the ball, guys. I'll be back. Well, I'll be back on another stream. Happy printing. You know what I meant.